All the ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, Bridgestone, the tyre of choice for the ZX10 Masters Cup, and Kawasaki motorcycles. SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup makes its way back to Kyalami for the Festival of Motoring and round 6 of this championship. And what an amazing championship we've had so far. But coming to Kyalami is always a big one for all of the riders. And of course the entertainment starts down in pit lane before we even get out onto the circuit. Great to have Byron Rothko back again after a big crash, and he's back from injury. We're going to try and push hard, and a massive Cape Town contingent has come on up to Gauteng to be part and parcel of the Festival of Motoring and 2 rounds of this championship. Time to get those tyre warmers off, get those Bridgestones ready to go, and qualifying is going to be all important. A couple of qualifying runs out there, and of course the Dog Doctor will be looking to try and get up there as high as possible, as will everybody else, and particularly the championship contenders, Graham Van Breda and championship leader Jason Lamb. A couple of Kyalami specialists out there as well we're going to keep an eye on. Wayne Shelley on Shop 74's Kawasaki always goes well at this circuit, but who is going to have what it takes to get to the front end? Looking at those times, they are dropping rapidly. And it's cool conditions, so it's not quite ideal for racing and qualifying. But as you can see, things playing around. There's a little bit of pressure here on Graham Van Breda. This could be considered one of his home circuits, although he looks probably at Red Star as his home circuit. Great to have Lundy Sinden back in the mix as well after her time off. And unfortunately, Clint Mutton crashing out, and he won't be joining us for this round. Wish him all the very best for a speedy recovery. Let's go and check out some of the new riders who've joined us here for ZX10 Masters Cup.
Very well. Yesterday was the first day for me to test in the Kawasaki, the ZX10, and I had a little bit of issue, but I'm very lucky because I got Lekka Racing. I got AJ Fenter that he helped me out in every single step. And today we went out in qualify after fixing lots of bugs and lots of things, and I managed to qualify 4th on my class, and I managed to drop 2.5 seconds from yesterday. I'm very happy. And I'm very happy to join this big family. I want to just say thank you to Red Square for the sponsor, to Bridgestone, and to Kawasaki and SunBet. And I'm very happy for everything.
It's really cool, eh? Guys are really friendly. The sponsorship with Red Square and Bridgestone and SunBet is very cool. At least brings racing back to South Africa. Very friendly in the pits. It's not like the normal drama that you have, which is quite cool. You know, everybody seems to be friendly with each other. And yeah, at Kyalami, I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Kyalami is probably one of the best places too, right?
Everybody has been so supportive. I've had endless issues, radiators, brakes, and everybody's just willing to give a helping hand. Apanagan Apathy, he organised me some discs now. Yeah, it's just so cool to ride in a series where everybody's, you know, it's like a brotherhood, like a family. And I'm 38 years old now, so I think it's time for me to have some fun. And this is pure fun racing. It's not too expensive, controlled tyres. So I'm really chuffed to be here. And hopefully I can do a PB lap time on a 2011 ZX10.
The family, the crowd, and the numbers at the end of the day. And it seems to be a very well-run series. And yeah, I'm glad to be part of it.
Last round was at East London Grand Prix circuit where Jason Lamb, championship leader, took a double victory.
Graham and I have had good races the whole year, so hopefully this will be no different. And we'll see how it turns out at the end of the day.
Last year's champion ended up second at East London, so there's a little bit of pressure on him this weekend at Kyalami.
Yeah, I don't really have a plan at the moment because Trevor threw a bit of a spanner in the works here with the last qualifier. He did a 49 something, which is more than half a second below the lap record. So he's really on his own sort of pace here, so I'm not sure what to do. Do I stick with Trevor and try right away from the other guys, or try and have a race with him. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how the start goes and how everything pans out, because the championship is basically between me and Jason. We've got a big lead over the other guys, and I suppose I should be riding depending on Jason, but it'll be hard. It is my home circuit and I'd like to win here, so we'll have to see how it goes.
After that incredible lap from Westman, he puts it on pole position ahead of Van Berdar and Damien Purificati. Second row is Jason Lamb, Peter de Vos and Brian Bontekoning, Han McMahon and Wayne Shelley and Apana Ganapathy making up the third row. And new man, Mark Newland, up into 10th spot. Good effort from him with Teddy Brook and Dave Varenga alongside. Let's catch up now with our pole man, Trevor Westman.
I think Kyalami is probably my favorite place in South Africa. Last year we came here for the first time in 10 years and we did super well. And now I think I beat my time by 0.6 in qualifying 3, which is great. So I'm sure the race is going to be a lot stronger. But yeah, I can't wait to have a nice dice with the SunBet guys. And yeah, thanks to all the sponsors.
It's time to go racing here at Kyalami. Join us after the break for all the action from race 1. Welcome back to Kyalami. Here we go for race 1 of round 6 of the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. We're on board here with the John Gunjosi outsourcing Kawasaki of Peter de Vos, looking straight back at Shop 74's Wayne Shelley. Here comes the championship leader up on the right-hand side of our shot there, Jason Lamb. He'll be looking to try and catch that front row, but Trevor Westman has been the man to beat this weekend. Has anybody got what it takes? Apana Ganapathy certainly looking forward to it. He's got Brian Bontekoning just ahead of him. Little look over the shoulder there, waiting for those lights to go on. We've got the green flag at the back. It's race 1 time. Lights go on, we get ready, and lights go out, and we go racing. 32nd board, and 32 motorcycles about to go to battle here for round 6 of the ZX10R Masters Cup. And they are itching. There you go, lights on. And away we go down towards turn 1, Crowthorne at Kyalami. It's awesome to see 32 motorcycles making their way down there, and we're on board with the Apana. As they go through the little kink down towards turn 1, you can see, sweeping across. That was amazing. Very, very close there. A couple of riders coming through there. Johan Leroux being one of them. He's made up a bit of ground. You can see Sifiso Temba coming through there as well as the pack fan out, heading down towards Crowthorne. First time through Crowthorne, and a couple of riders have made up a huge amount of ground there on the start, particularly Graham Van Berdar, who hits the front. Westman has dropped down to 4th place, so the pole man didn't get the start he wanted, but how was that from De Vos? Up in the 2nd place there, just ahead of Jason Lamb. So the championship battle is on as they come out of Yuxgate for the first time. Up onto the back straight away and past their pit buildings. That's where we're going to see all the marshals and people jumping over the wall and telling guys where they are. But now as they come into Clubhouse, Westman's starting to close things down. Westman didn't have the start he wanted, as you can see. He's now looking to try and get ahead of Jason Lamb. And he's under a bit of threat there from Damien Purificati, looking on the inside. Purificati with a fantastic start as well. New men in this field and really looking good from the word go. Straight back from the John Gunjosi bike once again there of Peter de Vos as they come under braking up to the top into Leeuwkop. There's Jason Lamb on the inside. Oh, and Lamb runs out wide and forces him wide as well. Oh, Peter de Vos had to sit that one up. Jason Lamb came under a huge amount of pressure under braking there. The bike slid out ever so slightly and he was very lucky not to touch the outside, and the man on his outside was de Vos. De Vos has dropped right back in about 5th place at the moment. Massive pressure coming from Jason Lamb, but Trevor Westman also using that little touch between the two of them to his advantage, and he's moved up to 2nd. So it's Westman, the pole man, up to 2nd place. 2nd in the championship, leads out. That is Graham Van Berdar, and your championship leader is under a bit of threat there as they come down under braking from Purificati. He's up in the 3rd place. Welcome return there from De Vos, but he's got to try and find a way through there on Bontekoning, and the battle of the Masters and Grandmasters continues. As you can see there, joined by Wayne Shelley. This is Apana Ganapathy, slotting in behind Sifiso Temba. What a start there from the IM63 man as they head across the line to complete the first lap in anger. This is fantastic race action here. And as always, Kyalami providing us a fantastic platform to go racing at here in the Festival of Motoring. Bontekoning late on the brakes up the inside of Jason Lamb. He moves up 1 place. So the Jag Power Products man putting the pressure onto the man from East London, and then he comes straight back at him, round the outside and into barbecue, and Jason Lamb's having none of that. He's seeing his championship rival getting away in the distance, and he cannot afford to let him get away. Damien Purificati up in the 3rd place at the moment with Lamb on his tail. Bontekoning leads up the 2nd pack as they come through there. And keep an eye out because you've also got Wayne Shelley starting to close in on that 2nd gap. Further back in the pack, Nice to see some huge fights out there as well. Reginald Seal having a fantastic run there with Renatus. And you can see those two will continue their fight with Teddy Brook, the Silver Surfer. As they come out of Clubhouse, heading towards the S's again. It's a steam train, 32 motorcycles, all flat out as they come into Kyalami's famous corners. And up into those famous corners, a fantastic start as well, coming out of that 70 bike. And as you can see, all of a sudden we got a bit of a change up there. Han McMahon into the mix too. McMahon starting to play around there in that mid-pack. He's got some serious pressure. But further back there, the number 70 bike, of course, was Dieter Hazeman. Oh, we got red flags. Red flag, someone's gone down. I'm not quite sure who it is, but there's a big crash, and it's Stuart Christie. The dog doctor has crashed out, and it looks like he might have injured himself there. A bit of injury on the ribs. Fortunately, the doctors are on call very quickly, and they will get him back into the medical center and get him checked out as quickly as possible. But sad loss there with double reds now across the line. All the riders will realize that they're going to have to come up and restart this one for race number 1. So it didn't quite work out there for Stuart Christie. Everybody else now coming to the line to take up the positions and do a full restart. It's not going to help Graham Van Bredar, who had a fantastic start. There you can see the Kyalami ambulance about to take the dog doctor off to be checked out and make sure he's okay. We wish him a speedy recovery here from all of us. Riders coming to the line now. They should be taking up their positions and ready to go. We're back on board with Jason Lamb for the restart here of race 1. And can he get a slightly better start? Trevor Westman will certainly be looking to remedy the first one. Didn't go according to plan for the pole man. Graham Van Bredar was the man to catch. See a couple of riders there not quite ready to go just yet, but I think we're now under starters orders, and Apana Ganapathy tells me that with the revs picking up on the ART racing machine. Off the line and down towards turn 1 they go again. This time Apana's going to be watching on his outside. He does not want to see that yellow bike sweeping through, and as you can see now, it's a 6-lapper that they're going to be playing around with now for the second restart. Down on the brakes, Graham Van Bredar under pressure from Lamb, side by side, but around the outside, Bontekoning. Wow, where did Brian Bontekoning come from? That was an amazing bit of riding there from Bonte. He sneaks through, has the lead for about, 20 meters, and then Graham Van Bredar takes it back from him.
Came from Krugersdorp.
Yes, indeed. So Bonte on a flyer there, properly hauling through on the whole shot, getting down into Crowthorne for the first time, and he hangs on. He's into second place, and he's putting the pressure onto that front panel, that is for sure. Speaking of pressure, well, Westman's starting to put the pressure onto Lamb as well in a big way here, looking for a way to get through. Ooh, big moment there for Jason Lamb. Back end stepped out slightly out of Clubhouse as they head towards the S's again. Purificati coming along for the ride. Better start coming out of Hein McMahon on the second start. Not such a good start coming out of Wayne Shelley. But how is Mark Newland up there as well? What a start there from him. Incredible stuff from the new man to the series, and he's definitely loving life here in ZX10s. Jason Lamb looking for second place. Does he get through? Yes, he does. And he just squeezes Bonte wide out of the second apex there, out of Leeuwkop. Now they head down the hill. And the rest of the riders starting to make their way back up the hill. And as I said, great to see Brian Rothko back in the mix though. Maybe a little bit off the pace there. And also Landy Sinden, great to have her back in the mix as well there. One of our only lady riders in this category. We had a couple through the season though. But it's fantastic to have her back now full time. As they come out of Crocodiles. Oh, Bonte just hanging on. And just forces a little bit of a roll off there from Westman. The killer looking to strike now. Can he get down into the final corner? Purificati can. Purificati sneaks up the inside and into what is now 5th place. Ahead of Peter de Vos. Damien Purificati is just loving life here on the ZX10 Masters Cup scene. It's his first time out in this category, and he's definitely going to be looking for a full season, possibly for next year. Maybe even join us for the last couple of rounds as they head down towards Crowthorne again. He is side by side with Peter de Vos in the background there, fighting for 5th. Westman up the inside, eventually gets through. And now Bontekoning has lost out 2 positions there. 1 to Lamb, 1 to Westman. Can he come back at either of them as they come out of barbecue? Left, right flick, and then of course a big left-hander up onto the top, back straight away. This is where Jason Lamb gives it everything he can. But we saw in qualifying how fast Westman's wayward bike was. Can anybody stop that bike from getting to the front? Well, right now, the front end is being controlled admirably by Graham Van Bredar. There is no answer to Van Bredar's pace. And there's second place for Westman. Westman dives through, up in the Clubhouse. Long-standing move that's been pulled on numerous occasions by multiple riders in the past. And he makes it stick to perfection. This is Apana Ganapathy. He's having a fantastic run here as he sneaks up the inside. Also on a similar kind of maneuver into Clubhouse corner. So Apana slowly but surely making that ART Kawasaki slightly higher up than what he is. Speaking of higher up, well, hello. That gap has come down rapidly as Westman has closed down onto the leader and looking to try and get ahead now of Van Bredar. Further back with about a lap to go here. This is a big fight on. LaRue, McMahon, Shelley and Newland all in the mix. Just behind that, you can see Henk Kruger. What a start there from Henky. He's had a fantastic run. Teddy Brook just behind him, and Reggie Seal there as well. Safisa Temba didn't quite have the start he wanted in the second heat, but here we go. Coming to the line, and it's going to be very close here. Westman is all over the back of Graham Van Breda. Can Van Breda hang on? Westman runs wide. Looks for a chance to get through, but he just doesn't get cheaters right. He now comes up into Ingwe. Can he make it stick? He's going to run wide out of Ingwe. That's way too hot into the final corner. Van Breda knew that. Squared him off and heads to the checkered flag for the first race victory here at Kyalami. What a start to Kawasaki ZX10 Masters Cup. Proudly brought to you by SunBet. They're going to be losing their minds. Who was the money on there? No one can tell us. It was absolutely brilliant stuff. Van Breda winning that out over Westman and Jason Lamb. Purificati wins out over Bontekoning and DeFos. Great run there from Damien in his first time out. And Johan Leroux up into 7th. Further back in the pack, as I said, great battles. Rob Craig and Henk Kruger were going at it with Teddy Brook. They eventually finished up in 13th and 14th. And then further back, Tyrant Papa fighting with Dieter Hazeman, Gerard Frey and Jonathan Schwerin there as well. What a run from Graham Van Breda.
Yeah, it was. You don't get much closer than that. The restart was a problem because it upset my rhythm quite badly. I was getting into a nice rhythm before they restarted, and I knew it's 5-lap sprint race. You got to really go for it. And I think the pit board showed me +1, so I thought I had a tiny gap. At the same time they showed me +1, they showed me 1 lap because they didn't know how many laps to go. So I defended the whole last lap, blocked, and coming past the start-finish line, there was another lap to go. So anyway, it was super close, and well done to Trevor. It was an awesome race, and nice for the sponsors and nice for racing. Thank you.
It certainly was, Graham. He never gave up right to the end.
I had to wind my way right to the front and had a massive dice with Graham. He rode exceptionally well. I think he did low 50s, which is his best time around here. And yeah, the last 3 turns were just hammer and tongs. I passed him, he passed me, and I think that was great, and that's what racing's about. Thank you.
Welcome back to Kyalami and round 6 of the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Late in the afternoon now, and riders getting ready to go now for race 2 here of this round. It's going to be very, very tricky conditions, particularly at Sunset Corner. That is definitely one. And our other lady rider out there, of course, Maudie Suter. Fantastic to have her here, joining Landy Sinden as part of this big pack of 31 riders. He lost, unfortunately, the Dog Doctor in the first one, but we wish him all the very best for a speedy recovery. And as you can see, riders about to make their way out. They literally ride out of the pits and into Sunset Corner, which is a tricky one, particularly at this time of the day. Dark visors are going to certainly be called for here. I wonder if Apana Ganapathy is going to change that orange visor to a dark one now that he's at Kyalami and at the famous Sunset Corner. They all roll out, 31 of them in total, about to go to battle for the second time here at Festival of Motoring. And it is such a great venue to be at, particularly at this event. And when you've got big crowds on the sideline watching, ZX10s are going to provide them the action that we saw in race number 1. And Graham Van Breda were looking for a second victory to try and close the gap down on Jason Lamb. We'll also be looking at the lights. Trevor Westman chatted to us in between the 2 heats and said that the lights caught him out slightly. They're very quick here at Kyalami to turn the lights on and off. And of course, as soon as they go off, we go racing. And he got caught out twice there. So let's see if Westman gets it slightly better this time out on the wayward bike. We're going to have a look at those lights now as we're ready to go. Yo, that is very quick. They literally go on and off in a couple of, it's like literally a millisecond there. But everybody is hot and racing down towards turn 1. We're on board here with Jason Lamb. Purificati just ahead of him. Bontekoning with another phenomenal start, diving on the inside. And Peter DeFos, we said there were a couple of specialists here at Kyalami. DeFos is certainly one of them. Bontekoning is the other. And Wayne Shelley's up there as well. So there's 3 Kyalami specialists going at it with the usual contenders at the front end. And they'll be looking at that going, hang on a second, where these guys come from? Bontekoning looking for a way now to try and close things down on Van Breda, who's got it timed to perfection. Van Breda once again with a whole shot. That's his 3rd one of the weekend as they head towards Sunset, the infamous Sunset Corner. As I said, this is where you're going to see, well, we're not going to see it from this point of view, but maybe on the next lap we'll get a chance. Graham Van Breda has definitely got a dark visor on, so is Jason Lamb. We're looking back into his Arrow helmet now as they head towards Clubhouse. And a couple of riders there. Well, Shetty's gone with a clear visor. I'm not quite sure what his reasons were there. But a couple of riders have all changed those visors just to ensure that they've got better vision, particularly here at Sunset and, of course, at the top of the hill too.
Shetty can't afford a new visor.
He can't. That's right. Shetty's going to battle. He's only got one visor. That's the only one he can use. A little bit further back in the pack there. Nice to see some fights as well. Schwerin diving on the inside and fighting hard there with Ian Harwood. Harwood didn't have quite the finish in race number 1, but he's definitely back here fighting hard on the TRP bike in race 2. Better start as well, coming out of Safisa Temba. He's just outside of that top 10. Jason Lamb now pushing hard to try and get through here on DeFos. Can he find a way through into Crocodiles? He's on the inside line. He's good on the brakes. And he squeezes through and up into now 4th place. So he's just been able to see it. That was from Peter de Vos's point of view. We saw him just going on the inside to try and find a way past, and he's got through eventually. So Van Breda leads out. That's Purificati in second. Where is Westman? Westman has gone missing. He's nowhere near the front end of this pack. He's got it all wrong off the start, and I think he might have got caught out by the lights again. He dives on the inside there. I think that was of Johan Leroux, and diving through there as well. Renatus Fanica. He's down in about 10th spot there. Is the killer. And he's not going to be able to get to the front end as rapidly as what he did in the first one. He's going to have to hope that something slows these boys up at the front end, which is highly unlikely. Here comes Lamb into third place on the inside of Bonte. Squeezing through. Bonte Koenig under a bit of pressure, and the Grandmasters fight is on again. Therefore, what is 4, 5, and 6? Oh, what is that? De Vos around the outside. Phenomenal stuff there from Peter de Vos as well. Getting through there on Brian Bonte Koenig and showing him the way into Barbecue Corner. Brilliant action there for 4th place. The fight is on. And Class C up for grabs with Wayne Shelley joining the party. Side by side there was McMahon and Panaganapathi. Further back, Tyron Piper. He's in with a fight of his own there. New man to the series, Gerard Frey in the mix there too. And then just behind that, Lundy Sinden and Ian Harwood going at it. This just fights all the way through this pack. It's great to see. There is the big man and looking so good out there as well. Fighting hard. Lubabalo and Sana's about to join that party too. He's just on the background. And it's a 3-way fight for what is 16th place on the road at the moment. Andy Sinnen putting slightly away there from Ian Harwood at the back of the pack. Front of the field though. Things starting to close things up here rapidly as we see a move on coming from Jason Lamb. Keep an eye on those lap times though. Wow, Westman is absolutely hauling through this field and starting to put in those lap records times to get into the front end. It's exactly what he needs to do. He's got to try and find a way back to the front if he can, but it's a long way up the road he's had to come from compared to the first couple of races that we saw earlier on. And those first 2 starts definitely caught him out. He's now on the outside and looking for a way through on Shelley. Westman coming, living up to his nickname, the Killer, and starting to tick them off one by one, trying to find a way through here on Wayne Shelley. Not always an easy man to get past. Van Breda controlling things from the front, but Purificati and Lamb closing him down. Second pack is led out by Jongan Josie's Kawasaki and Peter de Vos on board that man. And then just behind that, Brian Bonte Koenig. Westman is through. Looks like Shelley's gone missing. Wayne Shelley's gone missing. No, he's got a problem. Down the left-hand side there, Shelley with a bit of an issue there on the Shop 74 Kawasaki. What a pity. He was going so well. Van Breda controlling at the front. Top 3 just equidistant apart at this stage. It looks like that Max for Tyres machine. And looks like there's going to be a bit of maneuver on there for Jason Lamb. He's got to get through on Damien Purificati first if he has to look and try and find a way past on his championship rival, Graham Van Breda. And with Van Breda taking 2 victories here, that championship gap is going to come down pretty big. Further back, this is great to see Marty. Oh, that's good to see as well. Marty Suter fighting hard there with Lubabalo and Sana. Lubs is having a fantastic little fight there with the lady, and she's having a super run. Here comes Westman on the inside. Is there a possibility of him moving up one place? Yes, there is. Ahead of Bonte Koenig, and now looking to try and close things down here on De Vos. We're on board with De Vos as they go into the S's. Now we go further back, picking up on those fights all the way through there. Teddy Brook and Christian Cavallo in there too. Great to see the new man. Haven't seen much of Steve Galgocci, but there he is on the ERT performance, and that is a fantastic run there from the Kawasaki there. The Prime Equip boy is on it. Now as they get to the top of the hill, there's Westman again. Oh, as I said, he's living up to his nickname, and he is literally cutting through this field like a hot knife through butter. It's taken him a while. Han McMahon just behind that, and then behind McMahon, it's Panaganapathi, Henk Kruger, and Craig. I haven't spoken much about Rob Craig, but the second of those Cape Townians is in the mix, and he's in the top 10 as well, which is not normally where he is or has been over the last couple of rounds. He's loving life back at Kyalami. It's a circuit that was really good to him in his national championship days. As we continue the fights all the way through, the 2-bike going through there, and a fantastic run from Mark Newland, the new man to the series, and he continues his fight there with Renatus. Now Damien Purificati, he's not involved in this championship, and he'll be thinking twice about making a move here on Graham Van Breda. Well, one man who wasn't looking for it to think at all was Westman. Westman just slamming up the inside of Jason Lamb. How did Lamb avoid going down there? So close there between Westman and Lamb as they came under braking for the final corner. Marty Suter still under a bit of pressure from Lubs. Lubabala trying to find a way through on the lady. She's a fantastic young lady rider, this lady, and certainly knows her way around the circuit. And for her first time out of Kyalami, I got to tell you, she's learnt this track exceptionally well and very fast. Speaking of fast, well, the top 2 men are extremely fast, but the fastest man on track at the moment is Westman. He's almost down to lap record pace, but that's the gap he's got to try and close down, and they're on the final lap. Is there going to be enough time? I don't think so. Behind that, Bontekoning and De Vos continue their fight, and it's a change up there as Bonte's got through on De Vos, but De Vos is trying to come back at him again here on the final lap. Dave Waringa just ahead there of the battle between Newland and Safisa Temba. The IM63 man now onto the back of the new man for ZX10s as they come up towards Sunset. Leaders already down into the bowl and into Crocodiles. They're on the final lap, and is Purificati going to hang on? Or is he going to try and find a way through on Graham Van Breda? Van Breda is going to make that ZX10 as wide as the ZX14. He's not going to allow anybody through here. He needs these 2 victories. As they come into braking, Purificati has a look. But I think he realizes he's not involved in this championship, and Graham Van Breda would be probably a man highly upset with him if he made a move on that final corner. But he goes across the line with a double victory. It's Van Breda with 2 wins from 2 starts. Fantastic effort there from him. Bontekoning runs wide. Oh, right on the final corner. And De Vos says, thanks very much, I'll take that. That moves Peter De Vos up into top 5 ahead of Brian Bontekoning. And they finish up behind Van Breda, Purificati, Westman and Lamb. Ryan McMahon down in 7th ahead of Apana Ganapathy. Then on the flick it over, Johan Leroux had a fantastic run there with Renatus van Niekerk. And as I said, Galgochi, Dieter Heisman and Landy Sinden in a huge fight further down for 22nd place on track here at Kyalami.
This whole ZX10 Cup community is like a family. It's very cool. I actually thoroughly just enjoyed my riding today.
It's great to have SunBet involved. Let's get a final word from Ben Allworth.
So SunBet, as you should know, is one of South Africa's best online gambling companies. We started off as a sportsbook 13 years ago. So getting involved in various kinds of sports, sponsorships to rugby, cricket, etc. The ZX10 was a nice extreme sport for us to get involved with. We've had a great relationship with them. We're here to support them for their race day this weekend, and obviously hope they all do really well and have a fantastic weekend as we have had. I think it's just a great relationship, and we appreciate like-minded people that enjoy motorsports. So it was a good relationship for us to have.
All the ZX10R Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, Bridgestone, the tyre of choice for the ZX10R Masters Cup, and Kawasaki motorcycles.